Say hello to the all-new Mercedes-AMG C43 4MATIC. Now it is based on the C-Class sedan that you're familiar with, but AMG has worked its magic on this one to transform this luxury sedan into a sports car. It's a car built to thrill its owners and leave them grinning ear to ear every time they get behind the wheel. At the heart of the new C43 is a 408 horsepower, 2-litre, 4-cylinder turbo petrol engine which boasts of some F1 derived technologies, making it punch well above its weight. Yes, it has been downsized from a 3-litre twin-turbo V6 to a 4-cylinder unit, but before you write it off completely, let me tell you, it is still very much an AMG. This 2-litre engine is produced at AMG's facility in Affalterbach in accordance with the one-man, one-engine principle. And what makes this engine even more special is the tech which it features that has been developed by the Mercedes-AMG Petronas F1 team. What are these F1 technologies, you ask? Well, there are several, but the highlight is the electric exhaust gas turbocharger. Now, without getting too technical, in regular turbocharged engines, you have to spin the engine a bit before the exhaust gases gush into the turbo and the boost comes in and you're catapulted forward. In this car, however, there is an electric motor which takes care of the delay before the boost comes in. So this electric motor, which is integrated into the turbocharger, virtually eliminates turbo lag, and what you get are instantaneous responses. The 48-volt mild hybrid system also feeds the starter generator, giving you a momentary boost of around 13 horsepower under hard acceleration. The responsiveness of this engine is on point. This engine pulls and pulls and pulls, and it pulls some more. You'd expect it to die out at the top end, but this one pulls even post 5000 RPM, and it revs till the magical 7000 RPM mark. Performance is truly exhilarating. Now what all that translates into is a 0 to 100 km/h time of just 4.6 seconds. Now blame environmental legislations or regulations, but this engine sounds rather muted. To rectify that, Mercedes has put a mic into the exhaust system which picks up the engine sounds and plays it through the speakers in real time to give you that better aural experience. But if I'm being completely honest with you, you will still miss the symphony of a 6-cylinder or an 8-cylinder. It doesn't tingle your senses or it doesn't tug at your heartstrings. It is sporty, but nah, it doesn't work for me. Transmitting power to all the 4 wheels is a 9-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. Now when you are driving at 8/10s, 9/10s or going all out, flat out driving, you will enjoy this transmission's quickness, this transmission's crispness and eagerness. But when you are driving with a light foot, this transmission can occasionally get confused whether to hold a gear or upshift, and even the downshifts are a bit jerky. Now the 4MATIC is a full-time all-wheel drive system which transmits 31% of the torque to the front wheels and 69% to the rear wheels. So it is a rear bias system. It also gets rear axle steering, which turns the rear wheels by up to 2.5 degrees either in the direction of the front wheel or in the opposite direction depending on the situation. And well, this is done to give the car agile handling and also mask its 1.8-ton curb weight. You'll still probably feel its weight around a racetrack, But on these roads, it feels really very agile, it feels nimble, and it corners with the grace of a ballerina. Grip levels are astonishing. Dare I say, the rear axle steering gives this car the nimbleness of its smaller sibling, the A45S hatchback. I love the steering too. Now, it's not razor sharp, but it is sharp enough to keep you engaged and entertained all throughout. What I also love is the steering in general. Now, it has Alcantara grips where you'd hold it in the 9 and 3 position, and it is not too thick like some of its competitors. What's also nice is that you have quick access shortcut buttons on the steering to change the drive modes and for some other key functions like the exhaust, and you can even change the suspension maps to Comfort, Sport and Sport Plus based on your preference. And speaking of which, the C43 rides on steel springs and adaptive dampers. Irrespective of the driving mode, you have 3 damping settings. There's Comfort, Sport and Sport Plus. Now, in general, this car is stiffly set up. Now, that said, I'd personally prefer leaving this car in the Sport damping setting, where it doesn't rock side by side like in the Comfort mode, and it doesn't feel too stiff like in the Sport Plus setting. Now, even in its Sport Plus setting, it doesn't feel harsh or bone jarring, and it will soften the blow from the road shocks quite well. Of course, you'll need to be mindful that you're riding on 19-inch wheels with really low profile tires, so you need to treat this car with respect when you are tackling potholes. Ground clearance is low and you will need to be extra careful and crab crawl over the unusually large speed breakers. This new C43 is a handsome sedan, and with its racy body kit, delicious multi-spoke wheels, quad exhaust tips and a lowered ride height, this one certainly looks the part. On the inside too, it wears an all-black cabin, and the red seat belts and carbon fiber-like panels certainly lift its sportiness quotient, as do its body-hugging seats and 3-spoke steering, both of which are draped in leather and Alcantara. Seat cushioning is a bit on the firmer side, but interior space is as much as the C-Class, and like the sedan, the spare tire eats into the boot space too. So that's the Mercedes-AMG C43 4MATIC for you. Now it's a car that's thoroughly modern, both inside and outside. It packs in cutting-edge tech and it drives beautifully well. Its performance is excellent, just what you'd expect out of an AMG. But here's the thing, its rivals, the BMW M340i and the Audi S5, both offer larger capacity 6-cylinder turbo petrol engines. So not only do you get bragging rights, like mine's bigger than yours types, but their sound experience, their aural experience is far more immersive when you are behind the wheel compared to the 4-cylinder of the AMG. And then there's the asking price. Now Mercedes is asking for Rs 98 lakh for the C43 AMG. Now yes, it's an import, but then so is the Audi S5, which is 23 lakh more affordable. And then when you consider the locally assembled BMW M340i, now that's 27 lakh cheaper than the Mercedes. And that makes you question, why is Mercedes charging such a huge premium on the C43 over the M340i and the Audi S5? Now don't get me wrong, it's a great car to drive, but somehow it just doesn't justify the premium it commands over its rivals.